Donna Greenwald, and I'm honored to be the featured quilter for the Annie Star Quilt Guild in Chico, California. The show is going to be on November 7th and 8th at the fairgrounds in Chico. If I were to describe myself, I am a quilt artist and a teacher. I taught for 37 years home economics in Pleasant Valley High School in Chico, and at retirement I decided that I would join the guild and learn to quilt. The first quilts that I made were very traditional, and then very soon I found my real voice in art quilting, and that's where my niche is. The medium that I use is all kinds of fabrics, yarns, beads, anything that will embellish and enhance my artwork. The techniques that I like most to use are raw edge applique with a lot of thread painting and shading. I use a lot of paints and markers to enhance the shadows in my work. When I had a small body of work, I was showing some of my friends, and they said, "Donna, you should teach this." And thus began my second teaching career. The pieces behind me are from my floral series, which made up the first group of my classes and my patterns. The very first pattern that I made is the poppy, and the poppy was a great example of free motion quilting, beading, shading with tulle and markers, and actually coming up with the leaves were something that my sister grows these in her garden, and I took the actual leaves and put them on my copy machine and discovered that I can make patterns of my own. Although I can't draw, I can make patterns from either my photographs or images that I find that are copyright free. The second pattern that I made in my floral series is the tulips, and some of the others that I've done are the geraniums, the hibiscus. The hibiscus is one of my later patterns that involve a lot more thread play and learning to shade more with the fabrics rather than the markers and paint. The next quilts that I'm going to show you are my newest patterns in my floral series. This one, the hollyhocks with the hummingbird, is especially fun because there are so many colors for hollyhocks, and some of my students have done this in purples and oranges, and it's been a great fun. A new embellishment addition in this one is to actually draw the hummingbird on white fabric and then to embellish it with glitter and marking pins. About 4 years ago, I was invited to teach at a retreat up at Tahoe, one of my favorite areas to go to in the summertime. A very good friend of mine who has a fabric shop in Minden, Nevada, asked me if I would come up and teach landscape techniques for a retreat for 5 days up right on the shore of Lake Tahoe. How could you resist? We've done that for 4 years now, and this past year, not to escape too far from landscape techniques, but I did these two as examples that people could do instead of a landscape. This one is uses several of the landscaping techniques, but adds the flowers more like the fusible applique techniques. This one is actually a rhododendron and butterfly that I took the photo of in my sister's yard up in Chester. And just the colors, the intensities of the pinks were just so beautiful. This is my newest flower pattern, and it will be available after this year to be taught in classes. I like to keep the Tahoe examples exclusive to the retreat for at least a couple of years. The newest technique that I've been playing with is confetti. And that allows you to do all kinds of new things with flowers, landscapes, and what else? This was a particular subject that I had been wanting to do for a long time, but the idea of cutting out all of those hundreds of little flowerettes was just a little bit too much even for me. So this is one of the new flowers made with confetti, and I can promise you that there will be more. These are a sample of some of the quilts that are going to be shown at the quilt show this year. This is from my floral series. I also have a series of fall fantasy patterns that are in the wonderful fall colors and with the theme of pumpkins and gourds and grapes. It's always fun to do that. I also have a series of landscape pieces that I have done, and all of these will be on display on November 7th and 8th, the Annie Star Quilt Guild Show at the fairgrounds in Chico, California. We hope to see you all there.